All right, let's do this again. All right, what's good, chat? I can't believe I don't know who Akashi's wife did this. This is by my nigga Omeezy. I actually saw the squad, the Let's Keep It a Buck squad at DreamCon, but I didn't take a picture with them because I was in line for the Chick-fil-A. So I had to mix the pros with the cons, and I went with Chick-fil-A. My fat ass went for Chick-fil-A instead of a picture. And you know what? I think I would have been satisfied with both outcomes. Cause shit, that Chick-fil-A did hit. But let's get straight into the bullshit.
Same wife right here who's
hold on.
this same wife right here who said
I remember
this on
her.
a
I saw
podcast.
this.
Did y'all ever have an orgy together with your husbands? Ria,
She's out here calling other girls niggas hot in front of her husband's face. This woman is very disrespectful.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us for it? Okay, maybe.
I just know that Nav's is like at least 10 inches.
Who then put her husband through hell is still
I don't remember that
going.
part.
We can't run away from the Akaash
I don't remember that part at all.
Singh situation with his wife. Now Jasmine
I knew she was
Singh has finally
disrespectful.
come out and explained what she and Akaash have apparently been going
Akaash,
through
not
behind
Akashi,
closed
my
doors.
fault.
According to her, they escaped a toxic environment, fake friends, online harassment that felt like digital SA. But she continues leaving out one
Nigga, she's the reason why most of this shit happens. Am I wrong? I don't think why is the problem blaming herself? Like, you know that one SpongeBob meme where the nigga looking for the most wanted and it's himself? Like, she's the problem. What?
major detail of it all. She was the person who
I wake up every
brought
morning and I ask
private-
myself. I'm sorry. I see no change.
and intimate conversations about their marriage to the internet. Yeah, I did say digital essay. It doesn't make any sense. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long, long way for the channel. I don't even have something quippy here. This is just the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my life. Now, back into the video. I have never wanted to leave a group chat faster than I've wanted to leave the Akaash Singh and Jaslyn Singh group chat. Partially because they keep threatening their friends in the group chat with a threesome, which I think is really weird. I feel like I should be giving
so terrible with
Akaash his
names.
chair here. But also because it keeps getting worse for somebody who could have avoided this situation. And we've recapped and talked about the whole situation in its entirety, how picking the right partner can be detrimental to your career. But Akaash Singh's wife is giving us a hold my beer moment every single chance that she gets. Just recently, fans asked Jaslyn Singh, Akaash Singh's wife, about all of the things that she has been experiencing behind closed doors when it comes to the whole situation that has been happening for the past year now. She says, and I quote, "I really try to remember that everything works out the way it's supposed to. Rejection is redirection. Of course, it's easier said than done when people were digitally SAing me and continue to do so.
How are they saying? I don't think that again, they're making fun of you. They're not digitally SAing you. Cause how would they even SA you? They're flirting with you. Like, I bet I could eat your ass with chocolate on it. Like, I guess that shit's SAing. But granted, you could just, block them.
But that experience made me and my husband so much stronger, showed us who our real friends are, and made us see fame more."
That nigga husband a bitch. It's the Ash. I ain't gonna lie, but hey, I'd be damned if I let my girl do this.
Clearly, I think sometimes the bad things that happen to you end up giving perspective. I kind of had to pause recording this video to figure out what any of that even meant. Digital essay is a new word for me, and Elmo can't handle big words like that. So I went ahead and did a Google search. Couldn't find much on it, but tried to piece together what I know of it all. Now, for the record, she doesn't necessarily name the Flagrant podcast as
because granted, she is beautiful, but I don't think she's that fine enough to get digitally SA. Like you not let's say like Coco Jones type bad. You cool with all, you know what I'm saying? You cool for, you know what I'm saying, your race and shit. You cool, you straight and shit. Like, You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying.
A toxic environment. But when you line it up with Akash's departure, it appears likely that she was referencing that specifically. She doesn't necessarily talk about the fake friends in depth either, but maybe he was referring to Schultz and the boys. I don't know. But that claim of the digital SA, she's talking about how these edits, these comments, these commentary videos all depicted her in some sort of fashion. And
she talking about me? Well, I never reacted, so I'm chilling. Y'all niggas. Hey man, stop talking about her. I'm lying. Keep doing it.
You know, they might have said the wrong things about her, maybe made some leaps and bounds and stuff like that. I'm trying really, really hard to stay in the middle for a second so I can, elaborate as to what's going on here. But yeah, she does kind of allude to the fact that some of these things that were said on the internet actually did impact her. However, I do believe that Jasleen is combining the harassment, the criticism, the jokes and conflict with the cast into one larger attack from the Flagrant environment. And by framing it this way, it makes it seem as though Flagrant is responsible for all of the stress that her and Akaash had experienced over the past couple years. The audience becomes toxic, the people around Akaash become fake friends, and Jasleen becomes someone who is simply attacked for no reason. But what we're missing and failing to acknowledge, which we were all here for, is that none of this, and I do mean none of this, would have existed if she would have never started any of these conversations on her entrance to the podcasting realm.
Went to college from 2011 to 2016.
I mean,
was
she's living the
my
problem.
pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
Like I was saying, she's literally the fucking problem. She's mad at the world for her problem. She's mad at her situation, and she's the main number one fucking cause.
And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
Thought it was just like dancing, getting dressed up, and maybe that was my mistake.
Yeah.
So I acknowledge that.
Look at this. Big one.
Yeah, the act of getting dressed up, looking what I want.
Wow.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But
what does a roster mean?
So it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like 2 guys I was talking to and flirting with at the
No, roster means starting 5. Don't let her lie to y'all niggas. She had a starting 5 and a 6-man. I promise she might have had more. But the minimum, she had 5 plus a 6-man. She had the center, the guards, she had the forwards, and she had the nigga off the bench when nobody else is available. Don't let this woman lie to y'all.
same time. That's it.
For the record, Akaash didn't have Jasleen on any podcast. She wasn't
You don't just say
popular
roster
on
like
social
that.
media.
You don't just say roster like that. She was, she was a free.
She didn't really have anything going on in the social media aspect before any of these instances. And her first appearances were her divulging information that I don't even want to say a lot of people took out of context, but was private and intimate, and they were details about their marriage that shouldn't have been out there, especially because Akaash had been spending years, and I do mean years, painting her to be some sort of uber virtuous, picture perfect wife. And I've broken down the reasons why he may have done so in previous videos, maybe to pedestalize himself so then he can criticize other relationship conversations on the internet. And, I've talked about what happens when you harp on, those things in your life and how you have to then become picture perfect in the eye of the beholder. But that's not what's important right now. What's important right now is her acting as if we weren't there for all of that. And I can't acknowledge that maybe the internet did cross the line. Maybe people did go too far, but we can't act as though she didn't put it out there first. She didn't come aggressive.
Yeah, niggas went far. Everybody go too far. It sucks, but you know how niggas be. But girl, you the one that put all your information. Nobody asked for that information. She said she was fucking all types of niggas. We did not need to hear that. You thought this shit was a safe space? No, this is the internet. There's no safe spaces. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. The only safe spaces are the weird ones. And that, you know what I'm saying? They not that safe.
I don't even think some of these things were jokes personally, if you are asking.
They be doing that
instead of acknowledging
they be grooming over there.
Her role,
so there ain't no place really
saying that, hey, maybe I shouldn't have did this, maybe I shouldn't have did that, etc., etc. She appears to be blaming the environment around her, surrounding Akaash, which you kind of know what type of work your man is into. Calling the response digital essay also makes accountability much harder to discuss, because anyone questioning her decision can be dismissed as somebody that's attacking some sort of victim.
My question, because I've never gotten to ask somebody who was really
Yo,
on
do they
the
interview with
receiving
any
end
other
of the
race?
internet to that scale?
Yeah.
Like you were? How did you feel? Like it was like a slow burn, but it really wasn't. It was like a firestorm. Like I had people hitting me.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what do you think?
I remember because you asked me this question, like, what is it like to look at like think pieces
He's
and people analyzing your marriage and your personality? It feels weird and it feels surreal because you're like, but you don't know me. You don't know anything about me.
Well, the shit you told us about is all we got to put on, and the shit you said wasn't really that good.
Never talked to me. Like you're taking
you talk to us.
The intention of this video in the complete wrong way.
And she may be right. They don't know you and your relationship from you and the inner workings of it, but your husband spent years talking about the relationship on the podcast and the platform. And so now you want Flagrant to accept all this responsibility for how everything affected you while taking very little responsibility and accountability for how your comments may have affected Akaash. And so once Jasleen describes Flagrant as a toxic environment filled with fake friends, Akaash's explanation for leaving the platform becomes much harder to accept at face value.
We got to address the elephant in the room, no pun intended. Okay?
As this nigga that said that weird ass joke for Kendrick, I think. Was it that?
You guys aware? Our boy Akaash, he really went through it earlier this year, showed amazing resilience and, you know, selling out Radio City recently, setting records in Toronto, just crushing stand-up around the globe, and literally just like living the dreams that he would tell me about at 2 a.m. when we're eating fucking egg sandwiches at Veselka. So it's been amazing to see, but the experience has put things in perspective for him, and he has made the decision to focus all of his energy on stand-up. He is going to be stepping away from the pod. It is bittersweet. You know, we wish that he did not want to do that, but at the same time, you know, it's very hard not to root for your friends, you know, literally.
I want to say, nigga, go get your bag. Nigga, is that DeAndre Jordan? Why do nigga, that look like Mike Conley and DeAndre Jordan, like, combined. Is that Wake? What the fuck? I know it is Wake. I ain't gonna lie,
living his dreams, and if he feels he's got to give everything,
I swear
to
that
DeAndre
Jordan
exactly
or Mike
what
Conley.
he's got to do, and we're going to rock with him. We hope you guys continue to rock with him.
After 9 years of being a part of the Flagrant podcast, Akaash decided to part ways to focus on his stand-up career. Now, I'm not going to rehash how funny
many
it
fucking
sounded
episodes
at the
is
moment,
that?
but I understand. Hey, sometimes you do move on to greener pastures, bigger and better things, or whatever the case may be. So that's not what I'm worried about. What really stuck out to me, though, is the fact that he didn't have some sort of final episode. You know when you break up with your significant other and y'all have one last time in the bed? Yeah, Akaash never had that. And if this was supposed to end on this amicable situation or way or whatever, you would expect that to happen. The only times that you don't get that finality of it all is usually when there's some sort of toxic thing involved. And hell, that's also not acknowledging that if maybe he wanted to focus on his stand-up, maybe he misses an episode or two here or there. It was probably a way to work this out if that was the only issue. But so now we're getting more realistic information as to why Akaash seemingly...
Hold on, cuz I was just looking at the videos. What the fuck is this? White girls dance better than black girls? I don't think I ever saw a white woman dance in a club. Granted, I go to mostly black clubs, but why you got me fucked? What? Man, get that. Hey, keep that 10 off my shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I might delete that shit from my history from that bullshit. What?
Left the Flagrant podcast, and it's looking like Jasleen is answering for him again, saying things again, putting information out there again that we didn't.
That's what I'm saying, bro. She be mad. She be mad at shit, but acting like she literally puts information out there that niggas don't need to know.
To make matters worse, Jasleen took to social media to gloat about the split. When a fan directly asked her if Andrew and Akaash were still on good terms, she posted a smug, condescending movie clip to confirm that the friendship is completely dead. She's out here playing the ultimate victim, claiming she was digitally violated just because media platforms covered the public statements she chose to make.
Here we go again. Another wife getting in between the business of her.
Just talking, bro. Like, there's not Like, why are you answering other niggas' questions?
Has been putting
Granted,
her
that
2
is-
cents in there and making the situation more awkward and more difficult. We know that Akaash and Andrew no longer follow each other. The Instagram post also shows how she personally viewed the relationship and Akaash and Andrew and the flagrant environment as well. And then she continues on in the video and doesn't make it any better by painting the environment and the podcast space specifically that he's in to be racist and right-wing, making a clear distinction between that fan base and the fan base that goes to his comedy shows.
I know the periphery of Akaash's fan base, which is, I will say, more of the podcast fan base. And I know a lot of people during like our controversy were saying like, oh, it's because of his fans. It's because of his fans. Like his comedy fans are not like that. It's more the podcast fan base that I don't think really resonate with him, because a lot of them are like really racist and right wing. I think like those of them are more like that. But yeah, anyways, I said like those peripheral fans, like they might.
Don't they got a black nigga on the show? How that work? How they more racist than the black man? Black man are literally treated worse. Unless you're, I mean, they treated worse on planes and shit, but black man everywhere else. We're treated worse than everybody, except for in airports. I'm sorry, if you got this brown color, hey, if you got that type of skin color, but you're just good. I don't know why. They gonna ask you for it. Hey man, we just need to check your hair for bombs. Y'all fucked up for that.
Come at us just because we're brown girls being opinionated and they don't like opinionated women.
You know what's so funny? I hate when people do this thing where are in some sort of a breakup or in some sort of situation and they talk bad about this thing that they've lived in for so long. All of a sudden, Akaash's fan base on the podcast is racist and they're right wing. It's a bad environment and all this stuff, as if it just got like that, right? This podcast has always been the same. These people have always made these jokes, all these different things. If you felt this way before, why is it all of a sudden that it's a problem? I just never get it. So now it seems as though that Akaash is putting a rock in a hard place. Hey, if you do go back to that podcast, there will be some tension in your marriage. And that old adage of happy wife, happy life, I don't know. Every episode could have looked like Akaash choosing the people Jasleen blamed over his wife. So that's why he chose stand-up as the explanation. It gave some sort of easy, respectable way out that avoided exposing whatever conflicts existed behind the scenes. It may be a genuine career goal, I have no doubts about it, but it also provided a convenient reasoning to leave without admitting that his wife wanted the distance from the entire flagrant ecosystem. And the more that Jasleen speaks, the more it sounds like Akaash was not merely moving towards stand-up. He's moving away from a situation that his wife decided was damaging their lives. The biggest problem isn't that Akaash listened to his wife, we all listen to our wives-ish. It's that Jasleen appears to avoid accountability while Akaash continues to absorb the consequences.
Is it just me, or is the idea of asking a girl to sign a prenup incredibly offensive? And only one way. Like if I asked someone...
Bitch, it's a backup plan. You want to leave me? You want to take all my money? Hold on. Stop right there. It's a backup plan. That's all it is. It's literally, that's what's wrong with having backup plans.
sign a prenup because I had some like booming business, then I would be like, yeah, can you just sign this prenup because like I don't want to like lose all my money. But then like if a guy asked me to sign a prenup, I would be like, I would call off the wedding. Like I would literally call off the wedding.
Did she just become a hypocrite? Oh shit, my bad. But did she just what? Oh, hold on, bitch. What the fuck? What'd you just say, guys?
With accountability while Akaash continues to absorb the consequences.
Is it just me, or is the idea of asking a girl to sign a prenup incredibly offensive? Okay. And only one way. Like if I asked someone to sign...
So asking to sign a prenup is a one-way thing. Oh wow, that's fucking.
Sign a prenup because I had some like booming business, then I would be like, yeah, can you just sign this prenup because like I don't want to like lose all my money. But then like if a guy asked me to sign a prenup, I would be like, I would call off the wedding. Like I would literally call off the wedding.
That's so
Don't
weird.
blame the brown girls for going to white men. Blame yourself and your friends for being trash options. These are like 3 kind of surefire ways to know if you're trash. So number 1, if you consistently prioritize your mom over your girl.
Nigga, don't you date a brown man? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I'm confused. your man's not white.
Telltale sign. Number 2, if you think she's nagging or being annoying or she's being clingy when really she just wants like emotional validation and maybe just wants some quality time where you're not like glued to your phone. Number 3, I think this one is a little bit iffy, but like if you listen to Punjabi music but you're not Punjabi and you call
who the fuck is Punjabi?
Your friends the N-word and you smoke a lot in the car and you drive really fast. You know what I mean? It gives that vibe of trash. Now that's like
who is Punjabi? I'm very
could be more of a in between.
Let me get this straight. I don't think that there's any problem with Akaash, defending and protecting his wife when it comes to some of the criticisms online. Online culture and community is way too far. And him stepping in because the community is saying X, Y, and Z elemental people are taking things out of control. I think that is perfectly fine and dandy, and it's what he should do. The issue is that protecting Jasleen appears to require Akaash to repeatedly absorb consequences created by her decisions and her actions. While Akaash did paint this picture of who Jasleen,
he be dead chilling, just trying to make jokes. This nigga's getting called a cuck ass nigga. Like, damn, bro. I just want to make people laugh. Now they're laughing at you. That's
was behind closed doors. It was Jasleen who publicly discussed their private relationships with her friends, her own personal life, all these different things. And ultimately, Akaash became the punchline. Jasleen blamed the audience and the environment, and Akaash eventually
I see no changes.
He left the platform connected to both.
Is that what he said? What is that what Tupac even says? I just see her changes. I see no changes.
She still doesn't understand exactly what's going on.
Wake up every morning and ask
trying
myself.
to skate under the guise of comedic relief and comedic timing and all these things like that as to why this happened.
It was bizarre to me because I'm like, my husband can go on stage and literally has a joke in his special about like getting a hooker isn't like cheating, it's just outsourcing, which I really don't care. Like, I think it's a funny joke, but it's like, if I say something that's equally...
You're not funny, 1. 2, you're not a comedian. 3, you're not funny. 4, you're not a comedian. I don't think it's double standards. It is, but nigga, get funny, nigga.
Raunchy, like, then I'm a whore or all these things. But the reality is what the reality.
Yeah, plus they just don't care. If you talk about sex, having sex with multiple people, they're just gonna call you a whore. What sucks? You know what I'm saying? So what's wrong with being a lot of people? You know what I'm saying? You just know what you're doing. But it sucks, man. That's what happens when you're on the internet as a woman. Which I hope it stops. You know what I'm saying? I side with our woman.
It's like, I was a virgin when I met my husband. We lost our virginity to each other. And I never made that a part of my identity. I only shared that because...
Wait, when you met your boyfriend, when you meet this nigga then? Because if you said you was popping pussy at the frat parties, then what? Bro, something not lining up. Because there's no way if you had to fuck him and then you probably broke up and then that's when he was on your shit. But then you went back to him because he got famous. That's my timeline. And I don't think it might be right.
Because I share my life story because I'm an oversharer. Y'all made it a part of my identity and then used it against me. I don't give a fuck if I was a virgin or I wasn't, or if my body count was 100, but it wasn't. Those are just facts. So if you want to take like tongue-in-cheek videos and make it into something it's not, like, that's not really a reflection of me. That's a reflection of them.
Yeah, gang, you kind of got to blame your husband for that one, though. To be fair. And also, you're not a comedian. I'm sorry to say it, but you're not a comedian in a comedic sense.
Like what I say, nigga, you're not a comedian. You cannot. I'm sorry, you just can't make them type of jokes, bro. I need like a camera that could like keep my arms. I just got a long ass wingspan, which sucks. Like we got a hoop.
Setting with the comedic timing. I don't know. So now you have Jasleen running around the internet speaking as though they escaped this problem created entirely by the toxic people and the fake friends and the environment and all this other stuff like that. But the person who loses out on it the most is Akaash. He left a platform he spent 9 years building, seemingly damaged relationships with people that, he's trusted and became friends with and worked with along the way. He walked away from the most consistent form of exposure for his career. And not to do the psychoanalyze thing, if you look at recent pictures of Akaash, it looked like he in that tub of Ben & Jerry's. Them cheeks look a little bit full, my brother, and it's not because you just got naturally high cheekbones and stuff like that. Meanwhile, Jasleen is over here still not admitting that she was sharing the intimate details, that she may have been making a mistake, still isn't saying that she did anything wrong or could have prefaced or whatever the case may be. I think this creates this dangerous dynamic in a relationship. One partner makes the situation public, refuses to acknowledge their contribution, and then expects the other person to rearrange their life around the fallout and aftermath. And don't get it twisted, Akaash had different options. He could have established boundaries with the audience, the cast, and his wife. He could have defended Jasleen from harassment while also telling her that their private life should remain private. Instead, the largest boundary appears to be removing himself from the flagrant community completely. And this is where supporting your partner becomes surrendering control to them 100%. Jasleen's problems became Akaash's problems. Her enemies became his enemies. Her version of accountability becomes the only version he is allowed to support. And her solution ultimately becomes his sacrifice. Mind you, this is a racist community while Andrew Schultz was sitting there making Indian jokes about Akaash for the past 9 years. Give me a fucking break. Jasleen may have experienced
that nigga been taking jokes. He had to be like, if they all racist, then that nigga allowed it. Shit, nigga. He was on that show for 9 years, and he allowed. You can't just say they racist now. Nigga, they been racist.
Harassment or criticism that made her feel violated, stressed, and unsafe online. But her answers to the fans shows that she still does not appear to recognize her own decision-making, her own choices that contributed to the situation. She's talking about this toxic environment that is right-wing and is racist and is doing all these things. And that's why Akaash had to leave. And it was supposed to be wrapped up as amicable and all this other stuff like that. But again, what amicable situation leads in no, like, you know, final episode? This has always been a racist right-wing environment, but all of a sudden it's just become too much. She chose to make these conversations public. Flagrant didn't force her to push these private and intimate details to the forefront, especially when your husband for the past 9 years has been, you know, positioning you as this picture perfect woman. None of this stuff came out of nowhere is what I'm trying to get at. And now, instead of taking accountability for her actions or inactions or whatever you want to say, she's trying to paint everybody else in this super duper negative light. And I can acknowledge Akaash may be prioritizing stand-up, but Jasleen's answers make it increasingly likely that protecting their marriage influenced the decision. The problem is that Akaash once again appears to be the person making the sacrifice, while Jasleen accepts none of the blame at all. And if seriously you feel as
like she's making the problems and his sacrifice is the solution. And that's some old bullshit, man. That shit sucks, man. It sucks for my boy, bro.
These are the steps that your husband needs to take so that you can get on these different podcasting platforms with your friend talking about how you want to be bent over by your friend's husband and have your friend involved while Akaash sits there and watches. I genuinely and honestly don't know if this can continue on. Now, maybe Akaash can ditch the label of, you know, you being the Puritan that he portrayed you to be for the past couple of years. That would be cool, but that still shouldn't just give you the green light for you to say like, yo, I want my best friend's husband's brown penis in my mouth. Hot take, like, right? Scorcher. Who would have thunk?
All right, WD. But yeah, but I'm stupid. I wish I had a drink of it, but I did not record. I was too sad because I could have streamed. All right, in that video.